Hello and welcome to this stream. I had a stream up just now, but I had some technical difficulties, so the stream crashed and lots of stuff. I'm starting over. I fixed everything, went and made some coffee. Very good. But now we can get right into stuff instead, which is maybe better than my whatever I was doing before. Let's see here. I'm just gonna. The only thing I'm gonna do that's not getting going is I'm gonna get the stream and post it again, because I thought it was nice to get some people on the Twitters and on the. Oh, Gingerbill tweeted my article about hot reload. I have an article on my website, Zelinski about hot reload. Okay. Final game dev stream before shipping on itch. I guess that's sort of what I wrote before. Final game stream before shipping on itch. Go to threads. Post that. That was the correct link. That wasn't the old one, right? Let me see. Am I on here? Yes, I'm live. Hello. And then we'll also go to the Discord. Sorry about all this. Things broke. The internet happened. Streaming. Final stream before shipping on itch. So funny. I've tried to ping someone. The old one died. Sorry. The first stream crashed. There we go. Now everything is fine. Everything is fine. Now nothing can stop me. Here we go. Okay. We were gonna do sound volume options. We have the menu here of the game. I go into options, and then I want some kind of number here. One for sound effect, one for music. Simple. I think I maybe already started on this previously. We'll see. Options menu. So options menu is this code right here. Oh yeah, the options menu also includes the game bindings. Yeah, here we go. We back. Yeah, we back. Sorry. Stream died. And I accidentally I just nuked the old one and put the new one up because things broke. Music volume. Let's do like that. Okay, so we have menu choice options music volume. Let's just maybe do like this. This is my little silly code for drawing options. Essentially, this stuff here, and also it's the same code used in the main menu. But yeah, so we will start with that. But yeah, essentially, like for those who wasn't here before I crashed the stream, we're doing bug fixing for my release on itch on January 28th, and we have some stream friendly issues to fix. I can also say that I can close this leave page. I can also say that I have you're supposed to be on this screen. Technology today. I also have a Steam page these days. It's fancy. It's not gonna release this weekend on Steam, but you can also go there and wishlist the game or something. Maybe I'll actually put that in the I will put that in the stream also. Follow me on Twitter. Cat. Go. Anyways, yeah, that's my Steam page. It's very simple Steam page I made. It's has some screenshots. I'm gonna make a new trailer probably tomorrow, so put up here and use for the H release. But it's just essentially has some nice header here, and there's a short text about what the game is about. And very visual games. I put big quad 4-way GIF like this, and then there's some cute features in this. And I think that's this GIF alone has usually been what make people most excited about the game. So I put that there with a short description, while still trying to be specific about the game. Like, it's a 2D adventure game. You talk, find items, use your abilities, blah blah blah. But you know, you don't need like this. Some complicated games will have like section after section of what you do, and that's good if you make a complicated game, because like you make a super bizarre strategy game with 5,000 different tiny details in them, you know, then you need a lot more info. But this game is like, okay, you're going to this cat, you're going on an adventure, you have these things. If I go into detail and start describing like, oh yeah, sometimes you can pick up butter and maybe then you can use it to do this thing, and you know, it's not important. The important is to sell the vibe of the game, plus the just making it look appealing, sell the vibe, and also make sure that you set the correct expectations. That almost all marketing is just like, when people see the material, what's the expectations on the game, and will they, when they play the game, will they feel like their expectation, like what they expected to be in there was there. So that's why, like, if you have a game that's mainly, you know, if you have a game that's mainly how to say, I'm trying to bring my stream, there you go. If you have a game, say you have an action game where at some point in the game, this is just how me describing a hypothetical game of how you can do things wrong. So you have an action game that have at some point there is a cat you can pet in the game. Say that's your game, right? If you then put on, and you can only pet the cat once, if you then put in your features a cat you can pet, and like it's, you know, important feature, then people will be like, okay, this game will have cats to pet, and then that maybe happens once 4 hours into the game. That's a good way to get people disappointed. So it's good to just list the things that you are certain everybody will experience, and try to do it in an appealing way. And those small extra bonus things that they were like, oh, this is in the game as well, that's the sort of stuff that will people themselves post on Twitter, you know, when they will be like, oh, look at this game, it's great. But you can't do that yourself, because you will just end up setting the wrong expectations, because people think that it's the things that go into the features list of a game need to be actual features that people will run into. You can't just have like this one-off things. And I see people do this, you know, it's they kind of they have a too long features list or a too long Steam page, and they list things that are not that important, or they make them sound more important than they actually are, which makes it hard for them, like which just makes people get the wrong idea. Another thing I think is good is the most common mistake I think with Steam pages. Sorry, I was gonna do programming, but that I see is also, have you seen this in Firefox? Big high-speed GIFs, they slow down over time. I love Firefox. It's a great browser. It's not no Google crap or anything, but big GIFs will slow down over time. And people have reported this bug like long ago. Is it this small GIF goes in the correct speed? This big GIF is starting going, and if I do a hard refresh of the website, now it's fine again. And it will just slowly slow down over time. And this happens to any high-speed GIF in Firefox. And Mozilla seems to be like, like you Google it a bit, and lots of people say this, and it's been like this for years. Even though they got the new fancy renderer written in Rust in and everything, you know. Anyways. But this only happens if I view it in Firefox. If I go to Steam instead. Steam uses WebKit probably, or something. Chrome, or maybe Chromium or something. If I go here, look, I have fixed the little icon here. Here. These are super hard to make because they're so tiny. But yeah. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, something I see people do on their Steam page is that they describe their game. The most common error I see is that they describe their game in terms of other games. Like they say, oh, it's a combination of Fortnite and Civilization or something. And then, you know, people be like, oh, Civilization, I loved when you did Cultural Victory. Or like, you know, you have all these ideas of what is the thing you love most about Civilization. And then that's probably not in the game, because you choose the things that when you made it is part of the you just, when you thought like, oh, this game I made is inspired by Civilization, then when other people see that, they will go like, oh, yeah, it's missing this thing that I really expected because it said Civilization. So it's much better to just say concrete things about specific features and try to sell a vibe and all that stuff, but never mention another game in your game description, because people will just be like, they will get the wrong idea. It will sell the wrong expectations, because suddenly the expectations on your game include all the expectations that people could possibly have from having played the games that you say your game is inspired by or a combination of. Ian says that the Steam page is did good. Thank you. Memory Leak asks if I am Russian. No, I'm Swedish. I have a Polish last name, but that's just because one of my parents is Polish heritage. But yeah, Sweden. So these days people think I'm a Ukrainian sometimes, because the name is very similar to that of a certain president. But it's just a coincidence. I had a guy delivering a package come up, and he's like looking at the last name. He's like, "Are you Ukrainian?" And I'm like, "No." And then he said, and then I said, "No, but the last name is Polish." And he's like, "Okay." And then he walked down the stairs and said something in Polish, I think, or I don't know what it was. I can't differentiate some of the Slavic languages, and laughed. And I was like, either he said something funny or he insulted me. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, Slavic last name. So, enough about Steam pages and stuff. I put the Steam page in the description of this, but I will launch each in the weekend. Separate launches. The Steam launch is a bit off. It's not happening yet. Okay. Let's fix the music volume. So recompile this. Okay, we need another switch case here for dot music volume. I will see exactly. I haven't done something. I need to do something where it appeared there. I need a number maybe just here, 0 to 10. Who knows? And let's go to game memory. Let's put, for now we put music volume here. Just a F32, I guess. Let's make it an int. It's from 0 to 10 and I can convert it to a float later. So if selected in menu, that's if you press enter. If you go here and press enter on it. Let's just draw the number here actually first, the music volume. How do I do that? This is the problem, you know. This code is like, do stuff, draw things. Wait, maybe I can just I know what to do. Let's do it like this. Items is a list of menu items, but this one fmt.print and then we put the value here, and then we say gmail.musicvolume, but we will use the tprint. Tprint uses a temp allocator, so the audio is the string is allocated on temp allocator, so I don't need to print, otherwise I don't get the format string. Actually I don't really need a format string. I can just do like this. Memory leak asks if I can make tutorial of C++ game dev, and that they've watched many of my videos, but they're all in Odinlang. Nah, I don't. I know C++, but the reason I use Odinlang is because I don't like using C++ anymore, because it's too much friction to work in C++. It's too. So unfortunately I don't use it. I don't enjoy it that much. I will make, when I'm done with this project, I have plans to make video tutorials for how to, super basic beginner for Raylib and Odin combined, for people who maybe have programmed but they've never made video games, and maybe never used Odin. And I think Odin is a good first language for game development, because the language is simple enough that you don't get confused by all the inconsistencies like in C++ or C, or just you know, all the noise, sort of like in C you have, you know, just have the noise of having, when you're a total beginner, of having headers and stuff. But so I want to make something where I assume people have some programming experience, but no Odin experience, and then they can, because I think it's a great first language for game development, and it does do manual memory management, which some people are scared of, but the language is simple enough in itself that I think it's a good opportunity to learn to do manual memory management, because it has the ideas like a temp allocator and a context where you can put the allocator, and a tracking allocator for tracking memory leaks. It has all the it has all those things to make your life a bit easier, and the language is simple enough, like I said. So I think that combination will make it so that you can have a good first game dev experience, and also learn some low-level programming things while enjoying the sort of high-level feeling of Odin. It's just a nice combination. And then you do some. I'll do some in those videos. I will do some game dev in Raylib, make a little game, and then also maybe I will write companion blog articles, because I myself I make videos, but I like reading articles. But but I also like writing, so I was thinking of making it both and having them. It's the same thing with I made a video and an article about hot reloading code in Odin. And I've wrote an article and I've made a video. The video is actually just me rambling on a... Wait. Yeah, the video is just me... it's just an edited portion of a live stream. But the article I spent like 2 days writing. Took a lot of time. I just put everything I know about it in there. It's on... You can find the article and the video on my YouTube channel. If you find the video, you find the article, because it's in the description. It's like my first video or something on this channel. But anyway, so I will do something like that. So now we have the music volume here. What I want to do now is to select the menu means that you press enter on it, right? So then I will just do gmem.musicVolume, music started volume plus equals 1 if gmem.musicVolume is bigger than 10. Oh, I can just do this. gmem.musicVolume. No, wait. Yeah. Music. Then it wraps around. I think that will actually work. Now I can wait for the recompile. There you go. Just press click, 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 because then I don't need to implement sliders. I don't have time for that stuff. The gamepad also works. Sound FX volume. Do something similar, and then I will have to think a bit how to actually get these numbers to the sound systems, because the music actually runs on a separate thread. Because it that's what you need to not have glitches in the music when you, for example, move the window or have a long maybe you have a long frame, maybe you have a little glitch in the game or something. Then you don't want your music to crackle, so the music is actually running on a separate frame, whatever it's called. Effects volume, sound effects volume. It's just that sound effects volume will become too long, I think. The main menu got sad. Yeah, it is a bit long. Music volume, I will just do effects volume, whatever. I should probably put this in a submenu, but I have no energy for that. Then we init, we need to give these things a good default value, gmem.musicVolume 7. That one 10. What's it called then? Sound FX. We have sound volume, we call it effects. It sounds like it's a volumetric volume is full of effects. Right. Let's just restart the whole game just to see that those default values get in there. This is called the effects volume. You know, you need to make sure. Of course, this shouldn't say music here. This is sort of the thing where you don't want bugs in this, so because it's initialized to 0 by default, so you don't want bugs in it where you don't have any volume. This 7 looks like crap. What is that? This font I'm using. I'm very much questioning it sometimes. It's kind of cute in dialogues, but in the menu like this, I have even edited the font and fixed some of the characters. But it's in the dialogue, it actually, when it's smaller and mostly text, it works fine. But let's put a to-do change. I put it in here in the stream to-do maybe. Change, what's it called? What's it called? Menu font. Okay, so many things open. Okay, so we have some numbers. Maybe it would be nice to save this in the settings. Let's see if that's possible. I have this is my, it's called HR settings. That's just me being like human readable, because I have a different format on disk. On disk it's a map from string to string of the keyboard bindings. But the keyboard bindings in the game is actually like a map from enums to enums or something. But I don't want this in my settings file. I want text like this. Otherwise it become like just numbers, and it's impossible. Like, it's nice to have settings files so you can actually look at and it's nice to have settings files you can actually look at and edit. That's what I'm trying to say. HR settings, music volume equals gmem.music volume, effects volume equals gmem. All right. I wonder what set music volume in Raylib does. Let's check. Set audio stream volume. I'm just wondering if I need to do it on the audio, on the music thread. It writes a float. I can probably I have to do it on the thread, I think, just to be sure, but I can fix that. I'll fix that. During audio update, it will check if the music volume has changed, then it will poke it over to the music thread. We will implement that in 2 seconds. I'm just gonna get this stuff in first. Then it loads the settings here. Here it unmarshals the settings file into some kind of JSON with the simplified format. It's not JSON, it's SJSON or something. Because who has time for all those? Who has time for all those commas and key, and like this you have to be, and you have to have a object around the whole root in real JSON. Nah, this looks much nicer. This data is not gonna go into any other program anyways. It's just for me. Settings. What settings? Ah, I have a settings object. Where does this live? Okay, it's there. Ah, it's a global. Okay. Let's toss these guys into the settings. I forgot I had this. Settings. Okay, this is the defaults, very nice. And then it will, the one here loads the settings, so this is default, but if the settings contains a number, then these will be overwritten. That's good. Settings.music volume equals HR settings.music. Just transfer these over. Like I said, HR settings is the settings for how to do your hiring and firing. No, I'm sorry. That's not appropriate in these times of game dev apocalypse. What I'm saying is, this one is, the HR settings is for writing this like this instead of using numbers for like the enums. Okay, settings. Okay, that should work now. When are the settings written even? When the game shuts down. Fair enough. Let's boot up the game and look. Coffee. Crash. Excellent. Good work, team. I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. This is where this is the call that sets this global thingy. I mean, I could. Why don't I just do this instead? Sensible defaults for sensible people. Good. Now it starts. Yes, good. We have 0 everywhere. Ah. Because it parsed the settings file. It's an annoying problem. This is maybe sometimes why you don't use this kind of automatic unmarshalling. Like, this stuff will, if the thing is missing, you know, this will still succeed, of course, but these two are now 0. Because it just, what this thing does, it takes whatever is in this file and maps it over to this HR settings object and just tries to fill it out. But if as anything is missing in the settings file, then of course it will yeah, maybe Leighton is correct. Maybe I should use a maybe. Maybe is maybe it's a thing that says, does it have an object, yes or no, plus the object? And I think Odin will. That's a good idea. Instead of doing all this crap of trying to fix it. So now you see here what happens if you use a maybe is when you load it, this thing is a maybe, so this thing is a maybe. So how do I do this? I never. Maybe it's just like a. I think I do this. If music volume, comma okay, semicolon okay. Music volume is then music volume, like that. Jerry is asking if it will be muted or 0 by default when you start the game. No, it's just it's gonna have the default values 70% music volume and 100% audio effects volume, or whatever I set, but it's currently a little or else the okay, yeah, that's maybe nicer. Yeah, let's Leighton said in the chat that we can do HR settings.music, no, settings.music volume is HR settings dot question mark or else default music volume. Well, yeah, let's put what this, oh, wait, I know it's or underscore, it's just typo. And then we just need to implement these guys. Equals 7. Put in here maybe. Default effects volume is 10 and this one is 7. Put these here as well, just so everything is always correctly initialized. Even if you don't run load settings for some reason, you still get your set defaults, but the settings will do this. So what this thing does here is or else this dot question mark checks, does the maybe have a value, like and in that case, you know, it contains an integer. So what it does is if it does have a value, essentially you can do this or else on any function that returns some proc blah blah, and it returns, I think, f32 and a bool, for example. Then the or else checks is if this one is true, then it will use this one. If this one is false, then it will use this one. That's what it does. And this dot question mark is sort of like a special built-in procedure that does the same, but on this maybe. Okay. Oh, I've missed somewhere there's a missing. Somewhere there's a missing curly brace. Huh, interesting. It's probably in load setting. I know where. No, I don't know where it is. Oh, no. Yes, here. Right. There. Most nearby place. Still 0. Did it write? It wrote 0. Because I quit the game last time. Now we write 0 again. Stop that! It's just, you know, bad initial data, essentially. Here you go, 710. Very good. Top class. And now we can go to music update. Music init. So the music is running on a thread and updating a stream. This is the thread. It just, if you change music, then it does all that, and you have a function called play music that uses a guard to, this has a little variable and uses a guard to set the new name of the track to actually play. That's all fine. We just need to get somewhere to somehow get the music in here to the other, get the volume into the other thread, because I don't think I want to just poke at the volume from this side. But what we can do is we can do a prop called update music that is supposed to be run from main thread. Like this. wait. I should probably use some kind of... I'm not very good at these things. I should use some kind of thingy to... What's the best way to do this, really? You know, I have another thread, and on that thread I want to take the volume and set it. But I must make that thread aware of the new volume. That's easy. I can check, has the volume changed, blah blah blah, and I send off. But I don't want to like have a guard, you know, a mutex guard and something constantly locking this up. I don't know if this code is even correct either. The mutex guard is inside the check for if it's different. Chat can correct me if I'm wrong with this, but when you have a bool like this is just a it will be small enough that it will be set, the value will be set atomically, right? When you just have a bool, you don't actually need a guard, but when you write something more complicated like a float, they're both are registry size though. I know there are exceptions for when you need synchronization, like when you some things without even using atomics, some things will always be atomically updated. And I think, is it anything that's smaller than registry size? Registry size or smaller, like you have a uint64 or a bool or a something, will that actually not need a syncing thingy? This code, of course, is not very dangerous because it doesn't do anything too crazy. Worst case is that it gets some garbage memory in the music name and it won't find that track, and it's not gonna try to play some garbage memory or something, or gonna go around and do weird stuff. But yeah, how to... But actually what I should do here is, of course, set music volume like this. Whatever, I use the sync card here, and then I say volume set, a new volume. Then I go here and I say vol int and then I will do this check outside of this. I think this guard here should actually be here. So what my thinking here is that this bool is set atomically, therefore I can just check it at any time. Doesn't matter if there is a non-zero value there, then it's there because someone has poked at it, right? And then I can run into my mutex guard, and then I can go in and start changing. This is which music track name is playing, and then it will wipe the new name eventually. No, yeah, it will just unset this one. Anyways, I do something similar here. If s dot threading gets it complicated immediately. Yeah, question is, I don't even know if I need this card. I need to go do my threading homework, I guess. New volume, bool, volume, oh no, volume set is a bool, new volume is an int. Then we have do something like this maybe. Is it possible to in Raylib get music, set music volume? Okay. But I can't get the volume, can I? Have to store it. Rightio. New volume, blah blah blah. This should be volume set. This should be new volume is not equals current volume. And then set music volume. Set music volume is yeah, I don't think I actually need to do any of this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can just do this, I think. I can just do this. If settings.music volume is not s.curve volume, then I have a current volume. And then I set the music volume of this is the currently playing music, I mean playing music, s dot I think this will work because even in worst case, so what happens with threading is sometimes is that your thread reads the new value while it's still being written by the other thread. So it's sort of half written. So you get sort of the bits, you get a bit of an incorrect value because you read it halfway done. But does that really happen with like integers and stuff, or is it for bigger things? That's what I don't remember, because I never do any threaded programming anymore. Exactly. I won't get Ian says you won't get it for a single int, because those are, though, if correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't single ints are updated atomically always, as long as it's smaller than now the word size, which is 64 bits or something like that. This was something, I always used to, whenever I touched anything on another thread, I used to go in and you have mutexes, but at a previous job we abused that UN64s were written atomically, if I remember correctly. Ian says that on don't remember ARM, but x86 is guaranteed atomic 8-byte value. Yeah, exactly. On 64-bit x86, you get, yeah. It's always like, you know, I was kind of sure that was the case, but it gets so uncertain with these kind of things. Like, oh, will I get like a random, you know, I put this game out and get a random threading error because I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah. That should mean that actually this whole mutex, everything here, the music name is just an enum. That's also just I think everything, I don't need a mutex for anything of this. I will get some more coffee and clean that up. Hello, got the last cup of coffee. Okay, so we do like this. Then this mutex won't be needed either because it just sets a bool and an enum, and the enum is like probably an 32 or 64-bit int background. So I don't need that. So we can, if new name set, good. The only dangerous thing here is, so when you have code that goes like this and is threaded, there are still, you have threading issues where you could read this value, you set this value on the main thread here, yeah, and you read this value, and you start going here, but while you're doing this, and you haven't set it to false yet, someone goes in and that sets a new song to a new music to play again, and then you set that to false at the bottom here, so you essentially missed one track change. That can happen. Because it read it here and it unsets it here, and that's when you need to do sort of yeah, I have two values because you can set new name to none, current name to none, which is no music is playing. Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, then I actually need the mutex, sort of, kinda. For this thing I don't need it because it will just always check. Wait, do I even need the new name set in that case? If new name is not, if I mean, this is not a big problem. I barely have different music tracks and I don't change them often, but can't I just if I set new name equals M, and then that can be none, or it can be a track. Yeah, I think I can just do this. If new name is not current name, then we go through all this. Yeah, it's still sort of. What you can do is this. You read that before, then you put it in here. You use that throughout, and then you set it. Now it's read before, it's checked, and then it's set at the bottom here. The new track name is set in here. Then even if while you're in the middle here someone goes and sets a new name, then the next time you come around here it will still, it won't accidentally. No wait, I never even changed the new name. Yeah, this is good anyways, because now no one can go in and change it while I am using it. So I fetch it once, then I compare it, and at the end I set it. Actually, this should not be like that. So this unloads and stops the music. This, if it's not none, then it loads the music and starts playing it, and then it sets it like this. I think that will work actually. And this one, the current volume, it just fetches it. Why? Okay, yeah, it is just so it doesn't spam this function, whatever it does. Okay. Okay. Then we can nuke the mutex. I don't have lots of threading in my game, but I don't have lots of threading, but by just having a tiny bit of threading and not, a good system around it, it can sort of get a bit like, will this actually work kind of vibes. This is actually my game is single threaded almost entirely. Maybe there's something inside Raylib that uses a thread. I don't know if they do something magic inside with threads, but this is the only thread I'm using in the game. Is the music thread, so my music doesn't crackle and stuff. So that's I'm so rusty at this threaded programming, because I don't do it much. Maybe if I do like a 3D game, and I mean I have written before, sort of like if you do a more heavy performance heavy game, then it's good to put your renderer on a separate thread, or you do some kind of task or job system to draw things with your renderer, and then you have a command buffer from your non-render threads to whatever those may be to your render thread, and then it sort of pushes through sort of a list of commands to it and updates it and all that, and you can get very nice multi-threaded performance where your rendering code can run independently from your gameplay code. But I don't need that here. No sir. Okay, let's put on the headset. I think the audio from the headset is going out in the... Where's OBS? I'm just checking the mixer levels here. Oh, this one is totally messed up. I think it got messed up because I changed some struct layout stuff. Okay, let's treat new game. Let's go to... What was that sound? Oh, I know what it is. Did you have to really listen to that sound all the time before? That's sounds like horror movie sound. Let's go in here, options. Oh, sorry if it got loud there. I was like, oh, why it's getting so loud? Because 1 is of course 100%, 10? 1000% volume. So we're gonna that's so stupid. What's the best way? I kind of want to represent the volume as an integer because I don't want to float. So I just want 10 levels of volume essentially. But here on the music thread side, we let's just divide it by 10 when we toss him in here. Let's go to game music default music volume sound whatever sound max volume 10. Here we go. This is this enormous noise the game made with the music. Should be better now. And this is 100% volume. This is 0. So 10%. I think 70% for the music by default. Something. Righty-tighty. The only thing missing here is that I need to maybe do like this, put this up here. Oh, maybe I should also be if is audio playing. Yeah, the even 100% was quite quiet on the stream. I think my desktop audio is not very loud because I'm not sure. I think it picks up the setting I have here and it's very low, but I can't do it much louder because then I blow my ears out. But then I think this number in the mixer in Windows, which is like 24 for this headset, I think it affects the desktop audio output levels. It's not very important, but let's see. Is sound... Oh, this is not how Raylib look. Is music... Raylib. Is music playing? Is music stream playing? Sure. This occur. s.cur blah blah blah, and then of course what was missing here was that rl.set music volume cur volume. So whatever volume is there from the start when it wants to. It's just this one is just complaining. Yeah, maybe. Just so I don't accidentally get that division lost somewhere. Let's see, now it should be at 70% by default. Maybe this is 70%, who knows? We will note this one. I got a tiny bit louder there. Let's see if we can. Yeah, it's very low, this. what I should do is probably, I think I can actually output it through my speakers. I'm gonna take the desktop audio all the way down. Shut off the game. Change to my speakers, because I don't have it that loud on the speakers. So even though some of it goes to the microphone, I hope it doesn't cause any weird problems. Because then I can turn the volume up. I don't know if there's like a weird echo now. Yeah, some of the desktop audio is reaching the microphone. That might not be ideal. Here's a good question from the chat. Have you managed to fix the mini audio bug that causes the window crash when you change output device? No. I've talked to the mini. I wrote a bit on the mini audio post about this, but I have not had time to look into it or anything. So this crash is essentially if you change audio output while the game is running, the game currently crashes. But it's inside mini audio, which is a lib that Raylib uses, and mini audio devs are aware, but it's hard to reproduce apparently because it only happens in Raylib. It doesn't happen in their code for some reason. So yeah, it's a thing. So I don't have any way to fix it other than maybe if I try to fix the mini audio code and send a PR in, but I haven't had time for that. But I do often end up I often end up starting a game and realizing my audio is on. You know, I realize that my audio is on the headphones and I want the speakers or the other way around, and I alt tab out, change the setting, the output setting, and that will currently crash the game, and I don't have any way to fix that. It won't crash on Mac or Linux, it's only on Windows, but it's probably the most popular platform anyways, so it's bad enough. But yeah, maybe I'll try if I have some time before the Steam release. I can fix that and then do an update on each release. Right. Now we need to put in the sound volume stuff. That's a bit more all over the place, but there's no threading involved. I'm just gonna first commit this. Let's see, git status. Git status. I often, instead of writing git push, I write gut push, and then I laugh at myself. Okay, the sounds are all played up here. This is some of them. I don't think there's any code in here that does play sound. Let's see if I have to eat that up or not. Nope. All the sounds are played from here, so that's easy enough, because then I can just fetch the sound volume and I can multiply that on. I also have sound volumes, like some of the audio effects have their custom volume set like this. And there's some different ways that the volume can be set for a sound effect. But I will just, whenever I run set sound volume, which is in 3 places here, I will just multiply on. I will just do like this. take this one, cast it to a float, divide by max sound max volume. Again, it goes up to 10. For some reason. That's what I decided. We do that, plop plop. No, not on the pitch. That would be strange. Sound volume. These 3, good. Oh yeah. Achievement settings. Righty tighty toot. Okay, now we need to some way to test this. Well, it quite obviously worked. There's no sound at all now. 100%. Yeah, that's not that sound is probably hard to hear on the stream. All the walking sounds and climbing sounds, very soft kind of little, like it's essentially me digging in a pot of soil to kind of create this, and nice little sounds. And I'm trying to keep the sounds so that they, it all feels a bit nice and warm and cozy. Let's see how this feels to play. Maybe I'll turn the volume up a bit. Let me know how this sounds when I play out the speakers with the game open, with the mic here, because I don't know if there's maybe a slight delay, so it creates kind of this weird reverb. In that case, I will use headphones, but then the volume will be super low because the headphones use a very low volume. Turn it down a bit. It's quite hard. Like I've noticed that sometimes I can have the music quite high and then I hear all the sound effects, but then some people, they put the music slightly lower and then like they think this is the volume the music should be at, and then they don't hear the sound effects. And getting that mixture right for a nice default settings is and I'm gonna double check that all this writes out correctly. Put 2 and 3. Quit to desktop settings. It says 2 and 3. What's happening in the Discord? Not much. Yeah, and this is still correct. Superb. And the important part is, of course, if this doesn't exist, then I get the defaults. Hopefully. Just changing level back and forth a bit. Yep. Good. This is the wrong to do. The stream to do is the one I want. Sound volume options. Done. Righty. Perhaps. Okay, the glitches, I will have to work on those. I really want this game to have, you can move through the whole game with the player never snapping around and the camera never snapping. And it's mostly like that. It's just there's some glitches on a few transitions that seem a bit random. And then there is, I fixed some other issues the other day when you when the camera suddenly snaps. Might be a few transitions that have some alignment issues, but in general it's quite okay right now. This one is a bit annoying. Remappable access on gamepad. I haven't done that, and it's a bit the whole binding system is a bit of a mess. Because right now you can only rebind buttons and not access. Because I'm lazy. I have to redo how the binding stuff works for gamepads. If I want you to be able to remap the gamepad. But it's also annoying with having remappable gamepad accesses, because you must somehow have, if in the tutorial, have the graphics to show which axis is it, which is it up or sideways or something. So we'll see. Currently you can remap all the buttons, jump. You can remap the walking with the gamepad to the D-pad if you want to, but the left stick on the left analog stick will always also be walking currently. But it's quite interesting with bindings, because you see this even in, you know, very expensive games with 20 people or 100 people or whatever working on them, where maybe the tutorial is hard coded. The tutorial only works with the default bindings. I've seen that so many times. Or maybe like maybe there's a few things you can't rebind, or maybe there's it's just these kind of, because there's also some dangers with rebinding everything, because suddenly you can put yourself in a state where you can't even navigate the menu to change the bindings anymore. So you need to also support that maybe up and down, enter and escape when you're in the main menu always does something sensible. But then you can also control the menu with your rebound sort of up and down on your gamepad if you want to, if that's what you... It's also sort of an accessibility thing to be able to play games with like one hand if the gameplay permits it, or whatever. But it's it is, I don't think it's that hard, it's just slightly messy, so I think it becomes an afterthought and people end up not implementing it. And then there was light. Okay, maybe we'll do the put save file in save games folder and settings. So this file currently ends up in where is it? This file currently ends up in here, where it shouldn't, and the save game also is there. These two guys not supposed to be here. This is of course my development environment, whatever you want to call it. A release bid looks like this. Where's the screenshot? Sorry. My game is just this giant exe. It bakes all the assets into one exe. And then there's three files. There's a log, a settings file, and a save file. On Windows, you have app data. In app data, you put your log and your settings, I think. In there's a save game folder as well. Let me see if I can find that, how it looks on my machine. Here's my saved games folders currently. This contains it's very funny. It's only Obsidian games. And it looks like I only play Obsidian games. It's Pentiment, Pillars of Eternity, and Tyranny. 3 games made by Obsidian. I do like my RPGs, but yeah. Anyways, how does... Oh, wait, there's a mess in here. There's a save game. Okay. Here is the Carl, my character in Tyranny. Some save game, Pentiment. Yeah, this obviously uses Obsidian's own system because everything looks the same. But I think what I was thinking was like, where does the settings file goes? I think some people will put it in save games, some people will put it in... I would argue that I would put it in the app data. So let's try to fix the settings first and the log file so it goes to app data. In order to do that, we must do some stuff. Oh, here's the Firefox thing again. I showed before that Firefox GIFs in Firefox, if they're high res or if it's just, I don't know if it's the high frame rate or something, because this GIF continues playing at the correct speed, but these big ones slow down over time. Only happens in Firefox. Doesn't happen in the real Steam app store inside the Steam game store inside the Steam app. Doesn't happen in Chrome, doesn't happen. I love Firefox. It's just, this is my only issue with the whole browser. And if I do a hard reload, then it's snappy again. It's just... Anyways. There is a... Why did I bring that up? Oh yeah, I wanted to Win API saved games. So you need to run the function called this thing. Get known folder path, folder ID save games. This is of course in C, this stuff, but known folder path. There's in the Windows API bindings, there is these things, which was recently added by someone in the community, nicely enough. And I think even the saved games folder ID is also here in the bindings. So we just need to import core sys windows and run these procs. Now it should be fine. We will also of course need to so much code. Okay, didn't get to the top, failed. I haven't done this in Odin. I think you can't put the when around imports, but the import itself will not be anything if you're not on Windows. I'm not sure. Well, I will notice when I bring my Mac or Linux out what happens with this code. But the code I actually use from inside the sys windows, I can put the when Odin OS around. Save settings. Okay, here is the settings, blah blah blah. Here is the file name. Write entire file. Settings file name. Right. So I need to fetch the settings file name. It's a proc that returns a string. And then I can do something like, I can have a default here that's just settings.sjson. Aha, I have to put in like Odin, reading the chat here, build Windows. Yeah, I might have to put this stuff in a separate file, which is fine because I tend to put too much in one file anyways. But I mean, my game it's not the biggest game ever, but And there are a bunch of different files in the game, but a lot of the main gameplay is implemented in one file called game, which is currently at, click down here and look, 11,000 lines of code. But to be honest, you know, people kind of, they code like this and they're, oh shit, that sounds terrible, how do you find anything? And like, well, actually the reason to split things up, I think, is when you're working on a team, to not get too hairy conflicts, because you work in the same file and then you get merge conflicts and it's a bit messy. When you work yourself, I never go around scrolling. I just use the find symbol. I used find symbol, like what do I want? Cat update, and I go there. It's I never scroll around in my code looking for something. I just go to symbols all the time. So if you're working alone, don't be afraid if it. I don't think having a lot of code in one file essentially is necessarily a messy thing. It's just maybe the bad thing about it is that you tend to lose, like, maybe after a while suddenly you find code that's no longer used, and it's a bit hard to see, like, it's harder to clean. It's essentially like having all your stuff in a giant bag and try to find stuff in there. But you know, it's essentially like having the messiest apartment ever. However, in your apartment there's no find symbol function, so you know, or so I say, to make myself feel good. I will look at the later when I have the I think this is how you do it. Windows. I don't like that long name. Let me call it Win. Win dot. Then we go to shell 32. Get known folder path. Why is there? Set get. Okay. Sure. What did this guy say? Get known folder path, folder ID, save games. Okay. What does... Okay, I'm gonna look this proc up on the internet. What does it actually want? What do you want from me? Okay, the folder ID, that's the save games. Flags is create. Let me make this 10 times bigger. Create specifies to force the creation of the specified folder if that folder doesn't already exist. The security provisions, this sounds like legal text now. The security provisions predefined for that folder are applied. Okay. If the folder doesn't exist and can't be created, then the function returns a failure code and no path is returned. This value can be used only with blah 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 blah. Okay. So this I probably want this flag just like this person here says. Can I specify the subfolder I want immediately, or is that the handle that represent a particular user? If this parameter is null, which is then the function requests the known folder. Okay, I want null. When this method returns, contains the address of a pointer to a null terminated Unicode string, specify the path of the current folder. Okay, this is the return value, and it's this the result in there. Do I just, with these things, like, if I want this will probably return the saved games, I would imagine. Right? Do I just go in there and create a folder for my game? Oh yeah, I'm doing settings now, not saved games. How do I find... Okay, let's go. Saved games. Let's see here. Game tasks, blah blah blah. Folder ID. Okay. These are where you usually put your settings in one of these. I have never researched what the difference between roaming, local, and local low. Okay, what I mean by this is if you go to app data, you get low, local low, and roaming. And it's just random, which like, oh, here is some stuff, here is some stuff, here is some stuff. What goes in which? We will Google that now, and we will together figure it out. App data, what's the difference between local, local low, and roaming? Okay, some person has... Roaming is the folder that will be synchronized with a server if you logged into a domain with a roaming profile. Local is the folder that is specific to that computer. Local low is the same as local, but it has a lower integrity level. For example, Internet Explorer 8 can only write to local low. Okay. Is it... Do you might get like UIC pop-ups if you try to... Yeah, I think the best thing is to always get the roaming one, because if you play on your super fancy corporate computer, then you can go home to your super fancy corporate computer at home, both connected to the same domain, and has synchronized your cat game settings. Very important, you know. Of course, when I release this on Steam, I will maybe use this. I haven't looked into the Steam API yet, but I'll probably put in the cloud save and maybe a few achievements. I don't really like achievements, but I have to. Sometimes you have to do what people like, but you don't, just because even it's not that important to me. It's not important at all that games have achievements to me, but I don't really care if they do. The important part is that you can turn off the. Or can you? I think you can turn off in Steam the pop-up when you get one. I don't like all that stuff. It just takes you out of the... Is this an enum or something? Where is it? Or is it it's just a win dot... Yeah, it's just a number. It's just a GUID. Right. Okay, let's see here. What more do we need? It's chaotic. The flags. Oh yeah, we want KH. Oh, don't tell me that one is not in here. Known folder flags. Create. Down here. KF flag create. Come on. I don't think it's in the known folder. Let's see. What's it? Because this one will be like recycle folder. Yeah, it's not in there, but that's, I mean, it's no big deal. I can just go here and be like, okay, it has this value. Fine. Create. I'm not going to update the bindings now. I'm just going to create flag is this. Let's just actually name it this so I know what it is. blah blah blah. This is because this is the Win API in C, and I have the Odin bindings, and most of the things are in there, but apparently these flags were not. Then we need to pass nil here, apparently, to get for the current user, and then my little string will be outputted in that. Let's see. Wait, here it says known folder flag. Oh, it's a proper enum. I thought it was not a proper enum because this was not an enum, but I think this is not an enum because it needs to be this GUIDs, so we can just do that. Ha ha ha! Excellent. And then it needs. That's the handle. Is that really a LP void? Okay, it's a raw pointer, so that's fine. And then it will give us this thing, which is a wide string. Now I don't remember exactly how to convert these properly. We'll see. Folder. Let's just try this, and we can see if we can use a more reasonable type in a bit. If that compiles. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. This is dv flags, which is a D word, but I should type known folder flag dot create win dot known folder flag dot create. Cannot assign folder ID roaming update type GUID to. Okay, does this one need to be a pointer? Cannot take the pointer off. Well, you're just complaining now. Is there a okay, whatever. Path. Okay, and then we need a cast here because this is a thing like that. Okay, let's see if we can print the folder here. Load settings. So this one, do that instead. We'll quit this, go to run. Yeah, of course it just said that because it's load settings. Okay. No, settings file name. Okay. And this one will of course then also return a result, which is, let's see at the result here, SOK. What's SOK then? I don't remember these things. Okay, it's 0. I think that's a common Windows thingy dingy do. So if this one is 0, then we print this. Otherwise you get default settings or something. I don't know. It's actually pretty nice to. I made, like I said, the main menu is actually a level that I can edit like this, and then I run a special function afterwards to put the menu on top. It's quite a nice way to, if you want to use your in-game graphics in your menu. You could even, and some games like this trick, you could, when you press new game, you could of course have the cat standing here, press new game, and it just puts you in a different mode so you get control of it and can start playing. I don't do that because I want to set up things a bit differently in the game. But yeah, it's that those kind of things are not super hard to do really if you want to, as long as you can somehow easily use a level inside the menu. And you can just stop drawing the menu and give the player control. Just make sure your Patrick's Parabox did that trick very well. Nice. I think, if I'm not sure wrong, I think games like Journey that are supposed to be this very flowy kind of game, I think Journey does this stuff. Right-de-doo. Let's see here. Oh. Some activity on the Twitters. Nice. Anyways, let's see how to. What this guy just says a number here right now. Okay, I haven't used this win. What is the LP wide string? There's a wide char. Wide char is a wide char T. Wide char T is when Odinlang was. So it's a. Yeah, that's UTF-16, I think. I think I can. Can I somehow convert this to a normal Odin string? That's the question. UTF-16 to UTF-8. Okay. W string. Who are you? It's a multi-pointer of W char. Is this what I want? Maybe. What's N? Is that how long the string is? Yeah, this is in Windows. This is in courses Windows util, so should be something useful here. Oi, what are all these funny add user server name, profile directory? Why is all this in here? It's fascinating. Funny utility functions. Yeah, I think I am supposed to use this one. How do I know the length of this thing? How do I blah 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 VC? It seems to blah 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 blah. Okay, but Okay, that's a C libc function. Do I do something like this? How does the multi-pointer stuff even work? I've never used these. Can I do this? Is the type even compatible with the folder like this? Let's see. Then we can get the str is the win.w w string. Oh wait, if I have UTF-16 to UTF, if I'll already U16, this I should be able to use this. No, but I don't have the length on the slice here, so I need this one plus the length. Just look at me, just trying to do stuff, right? And this one needs a W string. What's a W string now again? Okay, that's this thing. Okay. So can I just do this? Will this have the correct type? Maybe. Oh. This one returns an error. What's the OK for this error? Dot none. If string r equals none, then we print this crap here. Wait, but this one is just a pointer to a W char. Yeah, I never used, I haven't really understood actually in Odin, which is funny because I'm shipping game and using Odin, but I haven't understood the multi-pointer arrays because I never used them. This is the first time I'm using them, so I'm like, is it, because I perfectly well understand the slices and the pointer, but the multi-pointer just seems like a, and it's from C string to X. runes to string, blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah, I have to read up on this. Transmute. Which are folder. Blah blah blah. And then is there no function in the win? Oh, someone just wrote in the chat what it is, so I can stop being stupid. Let's see here. Ian is saying that pointer T implicitly converts to. Okay, it implicitly converts. Multi-pointer is like a C pointer, basically, where it implies pointing to an array of things. Converts because one item is an array of one item. Okay, is it just for sort of for clarity of things? What is it like to mark intent? Because I mean, it sounds to me like all the C AP, like when you ever talk with C, you could just as well pass the pointer to the type instead of the multi-pointer. Is it just to denote that I will use this as an array, not as a pointer? Because in C it's a bit ambiguous, because it's like, oh, it's a okay, so for C compatibility. But isn't arrays in C is usually just a pointer plus a length? I mean, separately. If you have an API, you have like unless it's like locally defined arrays where you something that, you know, it varies if okay, yeah, Odin pointers imply one item only. Yeah, but yeah, I think it makes sense. Okay, so it will, this thing will implicitly, I don't need a conversion, I just need the length. Is there a oh wait, can I use, no I can't. If n equals 0, oh well, I'll just use this one then for now. Yeah. Sure. Where was that one? It's in core C libc. Import core C libc. All right. Okay. Well, we make this one into a int. Spend so much time just trying to work with my strings. See if everything blows up or not. We restart the game because this function will now be called when you start the game. But it's quite interesting, you know, trying to get all your game to work in. Ah ha ha ha! Look at that! Amazing! You know, you saw all the crap I was imagining I needed to do, but all I needed to do was actually this stuff. Right. Now the question is, do I just go in there and say, hi, I want a folder. Do I create a folder if it doesn't exist? Or is there like some, I would imagine this kind of API to be like, hello, I would like to have a settings folder. And then there's an API that says like, okay, what's your program name so we can fetch you that folder for you? And then you say, oh, it's this. And then it returns you a folder and it creates it for you. So to make sure that it's there so you can just write your file into it. So you don't have to, that's what I would imagine you would do. Because, I mean, it's not up to me, it feels like, to go into the app data inside my program code and start creating folders. I just want to write files inside a folder that's the OS. But let's Google that. Win API create folder inside app data. Okay. Okay. Get blah 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 blah. This answer sometimes on the internet. Okay, create directory. Yeah. Oh well. I'm just gonna do that. How is it now in Odin again? There is there an API to work with paths? Path append. I don't remember. Well, it doesn't matter much. I can just / it works on all platforms. But the scary thing is sometimes paths come out with a slash at the end, and sometimes they don't. So you want a function to sort of like look at the last one. Oh, there is a slash, then it doesn't add it, and if there is a slash. But I'm not sure if there is. Aha. Now this is an OS2, which is the new OS layer. That's not Odin compiler core path file path. I think I've used this before actually. Now that I join. Okay. Is reserved path name. Yeah, I just want nice split volume name base stem short stem extension long extension clean relative split list lazy buffer. What's this? Is this for No, 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 no. Yeah, the audio cut out because I muted it. Because I wasn't at the desk. Well, okay, I was fiddling with it just before I left also. Let's see. We can get this window. I realized I went and made some tea and stuff. I realized that what I want to do with these kind of things is you take, I think this thing probably has like a, you want to take the path, split it into like an array of things, and then you append to that, and then you join it up to a string again. That way you're actually not, you're never operating on a path. And I think that's what this thing does. This proc here, join and non-empty, concatenate, separator string. And then I want to split up the, first you want to take the whole path, first you want to take the path as a string, split it up into an array. What's this? Is abs. Okay. Yeah. It's nice to get these things correct. Split. Why is there no proc to split the path in here? What's this thing? Directory walker, a path. This one splits it into a directory and a file. Clean. What does clean do? Okay. The return path ends in a slash only if represented. Okay, so this proc takes a path and returns a new path that's clean. So maybe I can just use that to be sure that it's nice. The only thing is if it's the root, but it will never be the root in this case because it's in the app data, so that's fine. So it's file path.clean I can use. Got that sorted out. I'm gonna close some files up here. It's too many. Break. No. Do I have file path in here? Core path / file path. Import core path / file path. Sure. Settings file name. file path.clean. Slash path. It's a file path and then there's a slash path. Okay. Oh yeah, what I was gonna check was what this one wanted. Okay, I will give it a temp allocator. Now we'll see what path we get out, and then we can add a separator at the end and put in a little game name there. Let's see. Yes. Hey. Yeah. Be right back. Hey.
Hey, aren't you streaming?
Yeah, but I muted it.
Jag ska inte. Ja, jag är trött. Ja, jag kan hålla.
Bra.
You bring this to me.
Ja, kul tack. Tackar Shimaya. Do. So. Let's see here. We have the app database path, and then we can do something like we take the app database, then we take win.separator file path separator yeah, and then we take ampersands are allowed in the name. It's a bit sometimes better to write like this because especially on the web, because on web you have problems with this one becoming like that because of HTML, but I think on a this should be okay. Oj. What does it have? Maybe I'm supposed to do this. Dum 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 dum. No. It's like maybe I'm stupid. What happens if I do this? Am I stupid? How does the print work? Why does it add 2 spaces around it? Too many parentheses. That worked. I didn't know that tprint would. Let's try it again. I'm turning off and on the game all the time here because I get this printed when I start it. Yes. What's this? Ah, okay, there's a set. I see. Aha, but then I can do this. Wait. Ha 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 ha. Like that. I say that I want to print this one and this one with this separator. Here you go. And then we also say settings.sjson. The only thing we must make sure that, wait, let's do this in two folder is this one. Should I create the folder here or no? I create the folder when I write it, I think. So I can just return this and I'm done. Settings path. Okay. Now update. This, of course, I wouldn't have created anything because it couldn't write this because it doesn't have the load settings. If it doesn't exist, fine, it didn't work, so it didn't load it. But save settings will. Actually, I don't think even save settings uses the correct file name yet. Yeah, what happens if I settings file name? Yes, settings. Take this. What happens if I try to write that? Does this thing have any flags? Can I tell this thing to create folders? No, it was an error when I closed it. Wasn't there. Failed to write. App data roaming cat and onion settings adjacent. Yeah, that's not so weird because this folder does not exist in there. That's fine. Let's see if write entire file can create it for us, or if we need to. Nope, it can't. Create director, create folder maybe. Switch is asking what language are you writing the game in. This is Odin programming language. It's sort of like C C, but with all the modern things we've learned since C was created. So it's still a simple language like C, but it has lots of high-level feeling things while you still have control over memory and stuff. So it's actually quite nice for making games. Lots of control, but also very you can express yourself nicely in the language. Okay. Write entire file. Okay. Is there something here to create directory? Okay, there's this dir Windows in Core OS. But then look in the standard library. Okay. This has its read directory. I want to create the directory. But this is the Windows specific stuff. Stat is for looking at file things. Write entire file. Read. Yeah, Sansen is saying maybe you use open, so that would be I try to open a directory and say create. Maybe see open in OS. Okay, but mode open read only. Yes, we have create. Can I tell this thing that I want a folder? Or can the open create I mean, the file will be written by write entire file, but I just want to make sure the folder is there. Yeah, Switch says that they're learning C++ and noticed Odin looks a bit similar. Yeah, Odin is more similar to C, but it has lots of extra things like generics and just things to make your life, like the things in C that usually slow you down a bit, have been addressed. Essentially, what I usually say is like point by point fixes my grievances with C a bit. So it's more like C, but I mean, the difference then is like, oh, it doesn't have classes with inheritance. It's simpler. It's more like structs and procs and stuff. Anyways, open with create. I don't know, man. Soon I'm calling create directory in Win32. Yeah, I guess I have to call this guy. Oh well. I will then, in that case, I will do it inside the... Wait, what does this one do? Oh. Yeah, I think I have to call the Win API manually, which is annoying. This is the first time I'm putting any kind of platform specific code inside the game, except in the main program where it on Windows I use. On Windows I use hot reloading, but in the release mode there has never been any platform specific code at all. Okay, I can probably pass this second thing as null. Okay, let's just go back to this and we, what's it called? Save settings. And now I'm going to do this when Odin OS start Windows. Can I run this? Will this? What happens if it already exists? It doesn't. Already exists. That's fine. Path not found. Okay. We can just call this with the. This is in sys Windows. Yeah, so we can do win.create directory W. So as you see, I'm using the win stuff here. Let's see if I need to move these things out to a separate file because of the import at the top. But let's see. Then it needs a UTF-16 string again, so we will do UTF-8 to UTF-16. UTF-8 to W string is what we want. That string will need to be allocated, but we do it using the temp allocator. Yeah. Where is it? It's win.utf to W string. Yeah. Nil on this one. Okay, let's see if it saves my game. I saw an error, so it didn't. Oh wait. This is trying to. I'm stupid. We need path base. Is it? What's file path? What's it called? I need is it the base or stem or no, not the base, volume split. I want the directory. Yeah, this. Here's a tabbing error in the. I saw that I did this and I saw that, oh, someone has messed up. File path.dir. So that's the path of this file name. Like it's the folder. This should work. I think it worked. Yeah. Amazing. That was a lot of work for. Okay. Sansen say there's make directory. Oh. Amazing. Okay, we will use that. Then I don't need to do any of this, I think. I can just do os.make directory mode. Like the mode is not used. It's probably for other platforms. boil this down to only that. The problem was I was looking for the word create. You know, I was just hammering away for different symbols, but I didn't find the make. These are the kind of things that when a language becomes a bit more Googleable, not like I tried to Google it even, but yay! Okay, good work, team. Well, whoever the team is. I'm gonna check that we don't use the what's it called? Oh yeah, this is not supposed to be here. This is supposed to be. Well, actually, that's fine. Settings file name. We can just remove this one. Or settings file. Yeah, we can do like this maybe. Doesn't really matter. It's only, yeah, we do like that. Then we put it there as well. Just to make it nice. Okay. Now we need to, and does it already load the settings from that path? I think so. Let's try it. We go in here, start the old video game, go to options, put this one at 0, this one at 5, exit. It's written correctly. We start the game and hope for the best. Yay! It's funny with these kind of things when you do it in the correct way for the system, then suddenly your program feels a bit more like a real program. I don't know, there's just something about those things when you get, you know, your stuff in the correct way. It's not just a program that pukes stuff in a folder anymore. Okay, the next step should go fairly quickly, because the next step is save the game. Load save. This is save. It's this exact same dance, but we will do it for the save game folder. Blah blah blah. Settings file name. So I will clone this function. Save game file name. This is save game. And we could look through here. Get no folder path. Here we need, I think, yeah, this one needs to be saved game. Folder ID saved game. La la la. Get no folder path. Settings path. Why does this not just return immediately? Now these two actually, they do almost the same thing. I'm not gonna make them into a generic function, but if I made a third version of this, maybe I would, because essentially what they do is it just varies this one plus the file name, but whatever. Save, calm down game, not yet. Save game, rave game, save game. Instead of save game, my game has rave game. Save game file. Let's just delete that one. Save game file. Get some compilation errors, all good. This one, do like that. It just reads it. If it can't read it, then there was no save. The other one, this is for writing the save. That one will do the same as the other one. Save settings. Let's see here. Just gonna copy this stuff and save game disk. See here, save game file name, And then what did I marshal all this, the save, that's good. And then I need to make sure that the directory exists, which is the directory of the file name. And then I take the file name and write it out. The end. Now I have no save game anymore because it couldn't, because it had moved. Okay, let's try. I will just jump to, I will need to instigate a level switch. I will do some stuff here that I don't have a button to manually save the game because it's when it goes to the next level for real. But then I run this started level, then I press the button to immediately finish it. So I let it run, and there it's probably saved. Let's go and look. No, it's not here. It's in Carl. Saved games. Look! Next to all the Obsidian games. Ooh! Perfect. So now, if I quit the desktop, open this guy again. Amazing. Now the only thing left is a log file name, log.txt or something. Create console logger. No. Wait. Oh, is it a release? Main release. Ah, here we go. This here file just opens log.txt currently. So log.txt. Guess I just do the same thing then. Kinda. This will of course do some Windows specific stuff now. That the way I will just fix it is by when I compile on Mac or Linux, I will look at this stuff and throw it into separate files until it works. Because then I don't have to worry about that right now. I can just write the code I want to write right now. Let's see. I need this guy, and then I need Actually, I don't. Maybe I can just fix it immediately. Because what did someone say here? You put it underscore Windows file. Okay, let's do that. Main Windows. Yeah. Main log Windows.odin. Then we do like this. Because it's so easy to do this. Like that. Take this, put it here. And it FMT. Core FMT, and then I need import file path, core path, file path, core path, file path. I think that's all I need. And this one will, since it ends in Windows, it will only compile on Windows, but it's still in the same package. So this one can just type log file name here. It is allocated with the temp allocator. Oh, I don't think os.open cares really. Doesn't save the string anywhere. So yeah, I think I can just do this. Log file name. But this one also needs to create okay, we'll do this. Log file name, log, and then we'll do the same thing with creating the folder. We make the directory like that, and then we open the file. Then we need to pull in the file path here as well. I mean, this function could create it. It's just weird to have a function that is just supposed to return a string, suddenly create a file. Even though I only used it in one place, it's still weird. Because I don't think... Let's see here. I don't think this logger... This one uses a console logger in the... When you're in debug mode. It's only when you're in this release mode that it uses this stuff. Let's see if that works. Let's make a release build. Let's make a release build. Build release. Oh yeah. Main release. I forgot the package name. The package name, you know, then doesn't. It just needs to be the same in the package, but it's just used for when you export it as a library to get your. Wait, when is it used? It's used when you if you export this as a library to get the correct. It's for the symbols inside the library, but it doesn't matter. Like, if you import a package, this name here does not matter if it's in the same program. C undeclared libc. Where do I use libc even in here? Ah, this thing. Okay. Oh no, compile this one. Yeah, now it's compiling. Oi! It puked all over. Oh. What happened? What's the build release? This won't do anything funny. Use separate no bounce check. Subsystem windows. No. Not doing anything funny. What was that? Okay. This. Wait, maybe if I go here, turn this off. Does it matter? There you go. No, it didn't matter. I think it's because it puts in the whole game as a... Let's see if it works. If I remove all this crap and all this crap and I remove... yeah, let's try that. Okay. What's up with this? Linker errors, that was not yesterday. Okay, so it's essentially saying that I got multiply defined symbols, such as exit, flush. Okay. Why? What this one does, it just imports the main game as... yeah, it just imports this package here, which of course pulls in libc currently, but I don't know, shouldn't matter. Should it? I mean, they're compiling at the same time, just as two separate packages. Build main release. This is my build script for it. It just builds the main release package. This one is in a separate folder, and it imports the game as this. This is just so I make a release build without hot reloading. So it just makes a tiny program like this. Oh, what's wrong? I'm gonna look in the Odin Discord. UCRT. Okay, can't I make the search results bigger? Come on. I had a hard time reading it when it's this thin. See if anyone else ran into this. Where is it that I used the... no. It's like a libc linker, or... I actually don't know. It's just libucrt. It's all duplicate symbols. Well, Is this a bug? What happens if I... It's not something with the low... I don't think it's this. I'm just checking. No, stop it. What? Oh. Um. Do I have anywhere else to fetch the wide string len? This is in. Yes. Because I can't just take length of this thing, can I? This. The multi-pointer, because it's, I mean, what would that mean even? Yeah, I think it's some kind of bug with using libc in two different modules at the same time. Wait, okay, let's... I was trying to verify this like this. Let's see again. Can I compile it if I just remove this and write 5 here? No, still can't. Okay, we go to main, libc, remove it. Oh, I use it. Wait, is it? So I include it in the main file. And then in game. Game I only use it for the... I'm just seeing if this makes it compile if I remove it everywhere. Indeed it did. So just having it once in there breaks it. I don't even need to use... It's just using libc in another module. In another package. Seems to not work. How to get around this? I don't really know. If there just was some way to ask the win, like, can I have the length of a... Because I don't think... Blah, blah, blah. I'm just looking at crap now. I can't imagine that the length... I need a special function, right? Yeah, like you say, something. Maybe it's a... I'll ask in the bug discussions. I use libc from in another when I import a package that uses libc, I get errors like yeah, like Sansa says that I could look for the yeah, I could look for the null, but yeah, might not work properly. Yeah. Oh. So Microsoft says use VCSLN. Okay. Well, what I can, since I can't just put the log file thing inside this package, because it's, even if I don't have use libc in the main program, this still happens. It happens as long as it's another package that uses libc. That's not. It's a U16 array, so the null bytes in the middle of the string isn't an issue. Yeah, okay. So how would I do that then? Okay, let's say we need to treat it like but then I need to manually step through the memory and look at the U16s one at a time, right? Can I just do something like yeah, I don't have to divide by 2, it's true, but so I have this stuff, but this one doesn't have a length defined, which is what I'm trying to solve. I guess I can transmute this to a how do I? Okay, let's do this. Is this how you do it? I don't know. You can index a multipointer. You don't have to transmute. Yeah. So I do like a 4, and then I do like this, and then I say if si equals null, return I, otherwise I plus equals 1. Wait, like that. Just give it a reasonable upper limit. It's not gonna get there, but sure. Will this work? Who knows? Yeah, but it adds it here, so should be I minus 1. So it returns here. Wait, no, you're correct. And then maybe it needs to, if or am I? No, I think you're correct. If I is 0, if I is 0, then it has length 0. Yes. If I is 1, and at the first, if at index 1 there is, yes, so it's like this. Okay, good. Blah diddy blah. Remove libc, see if this compiles, see if it works. It blows up. Alright, seems to have loaded the stuff. Can check if I can increase music volume. Go to this is saved games. Okay, let's go to app data. There you go. So that worked. Thank you. Now this thing should compile. Ta-da! What did I want to test? Oh, the logger. That was what I was doing before all that happened. Oi. This is the compilation has failed at some point, so it. Okay. Start the game. Oh, this goes into exclusive full screen. I have. Okay, it worked. Exit. Let's see what it said. Go to app data. Cat and onion. Settings only. No log file there. Is this correctly written? I think that's what I put, was it? So that works. That uses this stuff. What doesn't work is in main release it fetches the log file name. Let's just look at this. Roaming app data. Kitten cat. Oh, okay, it has my hack left in there. That's why it didn't work. Let's just take this. I don't like this libc stuff anymore. Start this guy up. And now hopefully there's also a log file. Looks promising. Yes, good. So if there's any errors it will end up in here. Maging. This should maybe be constant somewhere, so I don't change it in one file and not in the other. Oh well. That's all that for Windows. We're just gonna do one thing. Since this was so easy to fix with the Windows file here, I was making it sound harder than it was before. So we will go and say wait, do I have any Windows specific stuff in already? No. Type Odinades. Nope. Game windows.odin. So we do like this, and then we go to game. Toss these in there. So the way this works is that all Odin files inside a package are just compiled together. So this proc here, settings file name, will be available on Windows because this file will be compiled. On Mac it won't be compiled. However, it's as simple as adding game underscore whatever it is, Darwin or Mac OS or something, and add in the correct file on that one, and then it compiles. So I will get compilation error Mac, but if easy enough to fix, I will just implement similar stuff on there. Now we just need to toss in these. Now we can remove this platform specific funny stuff. Yeah, does this need file path? It does need file path. Okay. This should work. Oh, okay. Import core format. Yeah, there you go. Now I just have to figure out how to do these things on Mac. On Mac you use what's called application support, I think. That's sort of your app data on Mac. And I think you can just, I don't know if you just do like, get like ~application support and then do whatever you want in there. On Linux there's someone wrote in the chat previously, but there's like this there's a .local folder in the or something like that. I will Google it, it's fine. It's fine. But that's cool. That all works. Let's just check that it actually saves in. I will test that later. Doesn't matter. Because I need to play for a while in order for it to save. Because I need to get to the. There's no debug keys currently in the release mode, so I can't just jump to a level and say, haha, save. Because I need to get somewhere. Okay, I'll check that it works. Continue. Oh, I have a save from... Oh yeah, that works. I had a save from debug mode because it goes into save games folder, so I can save in, you know, that's reasonable. It went in here. This is my exceptional save game format. It saves like what items you have and what checkpoint you went to. It doesn't do any fancy serializing because the game is simple enough that I can sort of figure out what the state is from a few variables. Okay, cool bull. We have no wrong stream to do. This is my right. Cool. How long? It's committed. Use app data and save games folder on Windows for storing those things. Storing settings. Save game. That feels good. It's something I put off for a long while, but it wasn't that hard. It was just figuring out all the small stub steps with all the funny Win API stuff. And then of course the libc stuff being broken. I got hungry now, so I'm gonna go see what's happening, because also streamed for a long while. So I'm gonna call it a day now. Let's see, maybe I'll see if this was the last stream or not before the release. But I will I need to make a trailer tomorrow and fix a few of these last issues, do some playtesting. And then I mean I've already playtested it on Mac and Linux and stuff, and it all works fine. But I need to fix these things on there and then do some additional testing, fix the trailer, but that's essentially it. Just a few issues. There's also one or two sounds missing, I think. It's not you know, many people release stuff would be done a week before and then just sit on it, and but yeah, it's coming in a bit hot, so to speak. So we'll see. Thanks for watching this stream, and I will see you either. I will do a stream when I release it, which will be, yeah, but that would mainly be like, you know, for funs. But maybe I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, and over to the weather.